Hey guys, I wanted to share with you a powerful insight and meditation that came to me on the first day of Gemini season, which was now several days ago. But we recently experienced the new moon in Gemini, and these Gemini themes are very present for us right now. So I had this really powerful vision come to me during meditation about the polarity or the duality of our chakras, the shadow side of the chakras. And that's something that Gemini loves to unveil, is the shadow energy or the polarity in our world, in our lives. So Gemini is the sign of the twins of duality. And so what we find when we peer into that wisdom of Gemini is that everything has its polar sides. And what I saw in my meditation was that our chakras have our light side and our shadow side. And I was given a really powerful visual to help us shine the light on the shadow side of our chakras and bring healing and integration and balance to our chakras so that we can really come into wholeness and bring our shadow into the light from the energetic standpoint of our chakras. So I really want to share it with you today. I'm really excited. You can go ahead and find a comfortable seat. I'll guide you through this meditation. So I'll initially start by explaining what I saw in this vision. So for one, our chakras, most of them, the 5 that are in the middle, because we have our crown on top and our root on bottom, but the 5 in between are spinning wheels that face forward, if you will. So it's as if every chakra, this is what I saw in the vision, is a flower. So we've got a flower at the heart, a flower at the solar plexus, a flower at the sacrum, throat, and third eye, and they're facing forward like the flower is blooming forward. And this means that the stem goes horizontal to the back of the body, and the back of the body is where the roots expand of the flower, and that's the shadow side of the chakras. And so what I saw was that the middle 5 chakras are flower facing forward, roots in the back, which represent the shadow energy. And the root and the crown chakras, what I saw just in this vision, and of course there's many interpretations of the chakras, so take what resonates and leave the rest. But these chakras, the root and the crown, actually face up and down. So it's as if the lotus flower is facing toward the heavens, and the root chakra, flower or roots, root energy is facing down toward the earth. So it's different with the 1st and 7th chakras. They're not facing forward and backward, they're facing above and below. And the root and the crown connect us to the grounding, healing energy of the earth and the inspiring, uplifting energy of the heavens. And so what I saw in the vision is that the root and the crown don't as much have a shadow side as much as they just have an off and on switch. So if we're not connected to the earth, we don't feel grounded and safe. If we're not connected and open at the crown, we don't feel uplifted and inspired and light and hopeful. So we're going to focus on the shadow side of the 5 chakras in between, while also rooting down from our 1st chakra into that safety, that grounded energy of the earth, and lifting up into the high vibrational, inspirational energy of the 7th or crown chakra. So I'm excited to share with you this meditation. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Maybe you're sitting cross-legged like me. I've got pillows under my seat so that my hips are elevated slightly. If you'd rather sit in a chair with your feet planted, that's an option as well. So let's make ourselves comfortable. It's important to be seated upright for a chakra meditation because that's going to give us the most felt sense of the alignment of our energy in the central core. So we can really feel our chakra alignment when we're seated upright with a tall spine. So take a moment to tune in. You can rest your hands on your thighs, your knees, or in your lap. Palms up to receive, palms down to let go, and trust yourself with what you need, maybe one of each. Listen to your body and your energy at this moment and see what feels the best. So let's really feel our sitting bones, the base of the pelvis. Let's wiggle it into our seat. And we'll feel that foundation rooting us down toward the earth. And we'll let the weight, the magnetic pull of gravity, help us sink into that grounded feeling. And we'll envision red energy, the color of the root chakra, flowing down into the earth, deep into the core of the earth. So that's that pillar, that channel of energy that grounds us to the healing nature of Mama Earth and helps us feel safe and feel at home and feel embodied. And we'll take a few breaths into the root chakra. So let's envision that we're actually inhaling from the earth into the root chakra and exhaling from the root back down to the earth. Inhaling red energy from the earth into our root chakra. Exhaling, root chakra flows down to the earth. One more time like that. Inhale that safe, grounded, solid energy of earth into your body. Exhale, ground down. Beautiful. So know in your heart, in your mind, your spirit, that your root chakra is open and flowing and you are grounded, safe, and connected to Mama Earth. And now we'll move up to our second chakra in the sacrum, the low abdomen, below the belly button. This is our energy center for emotion, for empathy, for our sexual and creative drive. And its color is orange. So we'll visualize that on the front of the low abdomen is an orange flower facing forward. And it's beautiful and it's bright and it's vibrant. But as we flow to the back, the low back, the back of the sacrum, we find the roots of this second chakra flower. And this is the shadow side of this energy center, which has to do with denying your deeper emotions and not wanting to feel your pain and not wanting to feel those heavy or intense emotions that are waiting for you to be processed. And also, the shadow side of this chakra can involve taking on too much emotional energy from others and not knowing how to feel and process and let it go. So our empathy becomes overwhelmed. And we end up blocking some of this flowing emotional energy by wanting to resist those feelings. And there's more to the shadow side of the second chakra, of course, having to do with denying our sexual drive, our creative energy. But we'll focus on our emotions now because I believe that's the root and the core of this energetic center that has to do with our sensuality and our creativity. So there at the back of your sacrum are perhaps emotions that are stored, that want to be felt. And so what we're going to do is we're going to see the stem of this flower actually blooming another flower on our low back. So there's a flower on the front of the belly and there's an orange flower on the low back with a stem connecting them between. So no longer are the roots digging into the soil in our back and keeping it dark and mysterious and unknown. We're actually shining light on the back of that chakra and expanding it into a beautiful flower. And we'll breathe in through the front of the second chakra to the stem. And we'll breathe out the front of the chakra. And we'll breathe in through the back of the second chakra, through the flower. And exhale out the back. Inhale light and healing energy into the front of the second chakra. Exhale out the front. Inhale light into the flower on the back of your second chakra. And exhale out the back. And last time, breathe in through the front and back simultaneously. Let that power up your second chakra. And exhale out front and back. And just notice the difference. I already feel more open in my second chakra now, having acknowledged the shadow side and expanded light and acceptance into it. And let's move up now to our third chakra, the solar plexus. This is above the belly button and below the rib cage, the upper abdomen. It's our center for willpower, strength, courage. And we'll visualize a beautiful yellow flower on the front of the upper abdomen, glowing, blooming, expanding, radiating light. And of course, this flower at this moment has a stem that moves through to the upper or middle back rather. And the roots are there, the shadow side of our third chakra, which is disempowerment. Feeling like a victim, not standing in your power of choice, your power to choose your mindset, your power to feel free inside. The shadow side of the third chakra is giving your power away to things that you feel affect you, to things that you think have control over your inner state of well-being and joy, when really you choose your reaction, you choose your inner state. So let's visualize that these roots at the back of our third chakra are actually blooming into a beautiful yellow flower that opens and blooms on the mid-back here at the solar plexus chakra. And a stem connects the two flowers. And we'll breathe into the front of the third chakra. We'll breathe out the front. We'll breathe into the back of the third chakra. We'll breathe out the back. We'll breathe healing light into the flower on the front of the upper belly and out the front. We'll breathe into the beautiful flower in the mid-back, into the stem, and exhale out the back. And last time, we will breathe in through the front and back at the same time, powering up the third chakra. Exhale, send it out, front and back. And just check in and notice your power. Notice your confidence. Travel down to your second chakra and notice your willingness to feel it all. And travel down to your root and notice how grounded and safe you are in this journey, in this body, and in this practice. And now we'll travel up to our fourth chakra, the heart center, whose color is green. Here, center of the chest, we have a flower blooming, a green flower, radiating light and beauty. And this is our center of joy and compassion, love and playfulness. It's the seat of the inner child. And the shadow side of the heart is shutting down the joy of the inner child for fear. Letting fear or sorrow shut down the joy and the love that is innate in your heart. Perhaps not being willing to feel the love for fear that you'll be hurt. So it's a shutting down of the heart and all the heart's wisdom and all the heart's joy and love for fear that you will be a fool, for fear that you'll get hurt. That's the shadow side of our beautiful heart energy. Shutting down the inner child in order to take things so seriously and to maintain control. So let's let those voices go, and let's let joy and playfulness and trust and love expand into the heart center. So we'll see the green flower blooming in front of the chest, the stem flows to the back, and a beautiful green flower expands in the upper back. And we'll breathe in through the front of the heart center. And we'll breathe out the front. And we'll breathe in through the upper back. And out through the upper back. We'll breathe healing, loving energy into the flower on the front of the chest. And out the front. And we'll breathe into the blooming flower in our upper back. and out the back. And finally, we breathe in through the front and back of this chakra, powering up the heart here in the center. Send it out and notice. Notice how willing you are to lead your life from the light of love and joy and trust. The willingness to be playful and to take things lightly. Gorgeous. Let's flow now to the throat chakra, the 5th chakra. Center of the throat is the color blue, sky blue. This is our ability to communicate our truth and our needs and who we really are. And I believe many people in humanity at this time are awakening this chakra and are facing those words that they haven't been speaking, that truth they haven't been sharing with the world. And so the throat chakra represents our commitment to our own hearts, to our own truth, to ourselves and our journey. And so it's a willingness to speak our boundaries and to say no when it doesn't resonate, when it doesn't lift us up. So our voice, our throat chakra, maintains our energetic boundaries and speaks what's truly in our hearts to the world. So of course, the shadow side of this chakra is being afraid to say what you really feel, to show the world who you really are, and to stand up for your truth and to maintain those boundaries, to commit to yourself in your truth, in your light, to let the truth set you free. The shadow side denies your truth and keeps you stuck in pretending and keeps you afraid of the world knowing who you really are. The shadow side of the throat sabotages your efforts to maintain your energy boundaries. So we'll visualize the blue flower blooming and glowing on the front of the throat and the stem that travels to the back of the neck. And instead of roots digging into the shadow, we will let a flower bloom in the back of the neck, a beautiful blue flower. And we'll breathe in through the front of the throat and breathe out through the front. Breathe in through the back of the neck and breathe out through the back. And breathe truth and light into the front of the throat and out the front. And breathe truth into the back of the neck. And breathe out the back of the neck, releasing any fears of being honest. And finally, we breathe in through the front and the back of the neck at the same time to empower the throat chakra. Exhale, send it out. And see how courageous you will be now to speak your truth and show the world who you really are. No longer living in a constant state of codependency to try to please others or impress them, but to be who you really are in your essence and let that shine. And now we'll move up to our third eye chakra, the 6th chakra, located on the forehead between the eyebrows. Our center for intuition, insight, intelligence, inner knowing. And the shadow side of this chakra is denying that intuitive wisdom that you're receiving. It's living in the mind of the ego that wants to control outcomes and circumstances instead of flowing with your intuition and where your guidance is leading you. So the shadow side of the third eye is denying your higher vision, denying the insights that come to you from the divine, for fear of them being so powerful as to completely change your whole reality, and instead choosing the shadow ego side of controlling your outcomes and circumstances by limiting your vision and limiting your potential. That shadow side of the third eye stops us from really seeing the whole picture with clarity because we want to choose limitation instead because it's what's familiar. We choose what we can see with our eyes instead of trusting with our heart and our faith. We choose to see what feels safe instead of what expands us into the next dimension. So let's clear out the shadow side of our third eye, and we'll see a beautiful indigo flower blooming on the forehead. The stem travels back through the mind and blooms an indigo flower on the back of your head, really opening up to your intuition. Inhale through the indigo flower on the forehead to the center of your mind, and exhale out the front. Inhale through the back of the head to the center of your mind, and exhale out the back. Inhale insight, intuition, and truth in through the third eye. Exhale out the front of the forehead. Inhale wisdom, light, inspiration through the back of your head, that indigo flower into the center of your mind, and out the back of the head. And finally, we'll power up our mind, our brain, our control center with the highest of insight, inspiration, intuition, and vision by breathing in through the front of the forehead and the back of the head at the same time. Exhale, send it out. Wow. We are powerful beyond measure when we awaken our chakras in this way. And finally, we arrive at the crown chakra, the doorway to heaven, the doorway to the highest insights, the highest healing love. And we find a beautiful purple violet lotus blooming on the top of the head, the crown of the head that opens its petals to receive divine light. And let's visualize that flower blooming open and letting heaven's light shine down on the crown and all the way through the 7 chakras to the root and down into the center of the earth. So let's tap into that flow for a moment, the heavenly energy flowing down from the crown through all 7 chakras, through the root, deep to the center of the earth. We are a conduit of heaven's energy and heaven's inspiration. We are channels of the divine. Feel that downward flow, inspiration moving through you to the earth to be manifest. And then we'll feel the opposite flow from the earth through the root, all the way up through the 7 chakras, out the crown and high into the heavens. We'll let Mother Earth's grounded, safe, and nurturing energy flow up through the body and high into the sky. So we are a channel and a conduit of Earth's energy as well. And let's see that both channels are flowing up and down through us simultaneously, keeping us balanced, keeping us expanded, keeping us aligned. And so we are both channels of earth and heaven at the same time. We are both spiritual beings and human beings. We are both grounded and safe and yet inspired and uplifted and awake. Let's take a deep breath into this beautiful flow of energy that moves through you. What a joy it is to be alive with these powerful energies moving through us. And thank you to the shadow side for being our teacher, our awakener. And thank you to the light for shining on our shadow so we can love it and integrate it fully and heal it and bring it into the love of divine light. And thank you to Gemini energy for reminding us of these dualities within and helping us come into balance and harmony inside. Deep breath. Palms come together at heart center, acknowledging the divine that you are and the divine in all things. seeing that within the polarity and the duality of life, we have one divine truth, one whole, one love that connects us all. Blessed be. Namaste. Wow, guys, I am flying high off that meditation, and I hope you are too. I thought it was so cool to look at the shadow side of the chakras, feeling them on the back, right? What we hide in the back, hide in the shadows, and bringing that forward into the light to be healed and to be brought into love and truth. So if you enjoyed this meditation, share it with someone you know who might like it as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. If you are watching this on Instagram, then follow me here. I post often on Instagram. And if you love my content and want to support me in my videos and my work, you can donate to my efforts, my channel, through Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/divinelygia. In exchange for your donation to my channel, you'll receive rewards like a shout out in the next video, opportunities to connect with me one-on-one, exclusive meditations only available to my patrons, and guided meditation CDs and programs I've made. So those are some of the rewards you'll get in exchange for donating. Sending you guys so much love today. Stay connected, stay blessed. See you soon.